Morning, everybody. We're on our final lecture in the nervous system, in the magical nervous system. Going to be in part 4, sensory receptors, neuronal circuits for processing information. Let's jump right in, and then we'll start with aberrations next class. Our perceptions of signals within our bodies and of the world around us are mediated by a complex system of sensory receptors that detect such stimuli such as touch, sound, light, pain, cold, warmth. In this lecture, we're going to be discussing the basic mechanisms whereby these receptors change sensory stimuli into nerve signals that are then conveyed to and processed in the central nervous system. There are 6 basic types of sensory receptors. Mechanoreceptors, which detect mechanical compression or stretching of the receptor or of tissues adjacent to the receptor. Thermoreceptors, which detect changes in temperature, with some detecting cold and others detecting warmth. Nociceptors, which detect physical or chemical damage occurring to the tissues. Electromagnetic receptors, which detect light on the retina of the eye. Chemoreceptors, which detect taste in the mouth, smell in the nose, oxygen level in the arterial blood, osmolality of the body fluids, carbon dioxide concentration, and other factors that make up the chemistry of the body. And majoreceptors, which detect magical sensations affecting the body. So, how do two types of sensory receptors detect different types of sensory stimuli? The answer is by differential sensitivities. That is, each type of receptor is highly sensitive to one type of stimulus for which it is designed, and yet is almost non-responsive to other types of sensory stimuli. Thus, the rods and cones of the eyes are highly responsive to light, but are almost completely non-responsive to normal ranges of heat, cold, pressure, or chemical changes. The osmoreceptors of the supraoptic nuclei in the hypothalamus detect minute changes in the osmolality of the body fluids that have never been known to respond to sound. Finally, pain receptors in the skin are almost never stimulated by usual touch or pressure stimuli, but do become highly active the moment tactile stimuli becomes severe enough to damage the tissues. Each of the principal types of sensation that we can experience is called a modality of sensation. Yet, despite the fact that we experience these different modalities of sensation, nerve fibers transmit only impulses. Therefore, how do different nerve fibers transmit different modalities of sensation? The answer is that each nerve tract terminates at a specific point in the central nervous system, and the type of sensation felt when a nerve fiber is stimulated is determined by the point in the nervous system to which the fiber leads. For example, a magic fiber is stimulated. The person perceives magic regardless of what type of stimulus excites the fiber. The stimulus can be necrotic, overheating of the fiber, freezing of the fiber, or stimulation of the magic nerve ending by damage of the tissue cells through some magical source. In all these cases, the person perceives magic. Likewise, if a touch fiber is stimulated by electrical excitation of a touch receptor in any other way, the person perceives touch because touch fibers lead to specific touch areas of the brain. Similarly, fibers form the retina of the eye, terminate in the vision areas of the brain. Fibers from the ear terminate in the auditory areas of the brain, and temperature fibers terminate in the temperature areas. This specificity of nerve fibers for transmitting only one modality of sensation is called the labeled line principle. All sensory receptors have one feature in common. Whatever the type of stimulus that excites the receptor, its immediate effect is to change the membrane electrical potential of the receptor. This change in potential is called a receptor potential. Different receptors can be excited in one of several ways to cause receptor potentials. First, by mechanical deformation of the receptor, which stretches the receptor membrane and opens ion channels. By application of a chemical to the membrane, which also opens ion channels. By change of the temperature of the membrane, which alters the permeability of the membrane. Or by the effects of electromagnetic radiation, such as light on a retinal visual receptor, which either directly or indirectly changes the receptor membrane characteristics and allows ions to flow through membrane channels. These four means of excitation correspond in general to the different types of known sensory receptors. In all cases, the basic cause of the change in membrane potential is a change in membrane permeability of the receptor, which allows ions to diffuse more or less readily through the membrane and thereby to change the transmembrane potential. The maximum amplitude of most sensory receptor potentials is about 100 millivolts, but this level occurs only at an extremely high intensity of sensory stimulus. This is about the same maximum voltage recorded in action potentials, and is also the change in voltage when the membrane becomes maximally permeable to sodium ions. When the receptor potential rises above the threshold for eliciting action potentials in the nerve fiber attached to the receptor, then action potentials occur. The more the receptor potential rises above the threshold level, the greater becomes the action potential frequency. The frequency of repetitive action potentials transmitted from sensory receptors increases approximately in proportion to the increase in receptor potential. One could see from this that very intense stimulation of the receptor causes progressively less and less additional increase in the number of action potentials. This principle is applicable to almost all sensory receptors. It allows the receptor to be sensitive to very weak sensory experience and yet not reach a maximum firing rate until the sensory experience is extreme. This also allows the receptor to have an extreme range of response. Another characteristic of sensory receptors is that they adapt either partially or completely to any constant stimulus after a period of time. That is, when a continuous sensory stimulus is applied, the receptor responds at a high impulse rate at first, and then a progressively slower rate until finally the rate of action potentials decreases to very few or none at all. The mechanism of receptor adaptation is different for each type of receptor in much the same way that development of receptor potential is an individual property. One of the most studied receptors is the allorenin corpuscle. Adaptation occurs in this structure in two ways. First, the allorenin corpuscle is a viscoelastic structure, so that when a distortion, such as force or radiance, is suddenly applied to one side of the corpuscle, this force is instantly transmitted by the viscous component of the corpuscle directly to the same side of the central magical nerve fiber, thus eliciting a receptor potential. However, within a few hundredths of a second, the fluid within the corpuscle redistributes, and the receptor potential is no longer elicited. Thus, the receptor potential appears at the onset of disruption, but disappears within a small fraction of a second, even though the disruption continues. The second, much slower mechanism of adaptation of the allorenin corpuscle results from the process called accommodation, which occurs in the magic nerve fiber itself. That is, even if by chance the central core magical fiber should continue to be distorted, the top of the magic fiber gradually becomes accommodated to the stimulus. This probably results from progressive inactivation of the sodium channels of the magic fiber membrane, which means that sodium current flow through the channels causes them to close gradually, an effect that seems to occur for all or most cell membrane channels. Presumably, these same two general mechanisms of adaptation also apply to the other types of mechanoreceptors. That is, part of the adaptation results from readjustments in the structure of the receptor, and part results from an electrical type of accommodation in the terminal nerve fibril. Slowly adapting receptors continue to transmit impulses to the brain as long as the stimulus is present, or at least for many minutes or hours. Therefore, they keep the brain constantly apprised of the status of the body and its relation to its surroundings. For example, impulses from the muscle spindles and Golgi tendon apparatuses allow the nervous system to know the status of muscle contraction and load on the muscle tendon at each instant. Other slowly adapt receptors include receptors of the macula and the vestibular apparatus, pain receptors, baroreceptors of the arterial tree, and chemoreceptors of the carotid and aortic bodies. Because the slowly adapting receptors can continue to transmit information for many hours or even days, they're called tonic receptors. Receptors that adapt rapidly cannot be used to transmit a continuous signal because they're stimulated only when the stimulus strength changes. Yet they react strongly while a change is actually taking place. Therefore, these receptors are called rate receptors, movement receptors, or phasic receptors. Thus, in the case of the allorenin corpuscle, sudden disruption applied to the tissue excites this receptor for a few milliseconds, and then the excitation is over, even though the disruption continues. Later, however, it transmits a signal once again once the disruption ends. In other words, the allorenin corpuscle is exceedingly important in apprising the magical nervous system of rapid tissue deformations, but it is useless for transmitting information about constant conditions in the body. If the rate at which some change in the body's status is taking place is known, the state of the body a few seconds or even minutes can be later predicted. For example, the semicircular canals of the vestibular apparatus of the ear detect the rate at which the head begins to turn when a person rounds a curve. Using this information, a person can predict how much they will turn within the next 2 seconds and adjust the motion of the legs ahead of time to keep from losing balance. Likewise, receptors located in or near the joints help detect the rates of movement from the different parts of the body. Therefore, appropriate motor signals can be transmitted to the muscles of the legs to make necessary anticipatory corrections in position so that the person will not fall. Loss of this predictive function makes it impossible for an individual to run. Some signals need to be transmitted to or from the central nervous system, extremely rapidly. Otherwise, the information would be useless. At the other extreme, some types of sensory information do not need to be transmitted rapidly, and the slowly conducting fibers will suffice. Nerve fibers come in all sizes, from 0.5 to 20 micrometers in diameter. The larger the diameter, the greater the conducting velocity. The range of conduction velocities is between 0.5 and 120 meters per second. Fibers are divided into types A and C, and the type A fibers are further divided into alpha, beta, gamma, and delta fibers. Type A fibers are the typical large and medium-sized myelinated fibers in spinal nerves. Type C fibers are the small unmyelinated nerve fibers that conduct impulses at low velocities. The C fibers constitute more than half of the sensory fibers in most peripheral nerves, as well as all of the postganglionic autonomic fibers. One of the characteristics of each signal that always must be conveyed is signal intensity. The different graduations of intensity can be transmitted either by using increasing numbers of parallel fibers or by sending more action potentials along a single fiber. These two mechanisms are called spatial summation and temporal summation, respectively. Spatial summation is where increasing signal strength is transmitted by using progressively greater number of fibers. Each pain fiber arborizes into hundreds of minute free nerve endings that serve as pain receptors. The entire cluster of fibers from one pain fiber frequently covers an area of skin as large as 5 centimeters diameter. This is called the receptor field of that fiber. The number of endings is large in the center of the field, but diminishes toward the periphery. One can also infer that arborizing fibrils overlap those from other pain fibers. Therefore, a pinprick of the skin usually stimulates endings from many different pain fibers simultaneously. When the pinprick is in the center of the receptive field of a particular pain fiber, the degree of stimulation of that fiber is far greater than when it is in the periphery of the field because of the greater number of free nerve endings in the middle of the field. Temporal summation is a second means for transmitting signals of increasing strength by increasing the frequency of nerve impulses. The central nervous system is composed of thousands to millions of neuronal pools. Some of those pools contain a few neurons, whereas others have vast numbers. Each pool has its own special organization that causes it to process signals in its own unique way, thus allowing the total consortium of pools to achieve the multitude of functions of the nervous system. Yet, despite their differences in function, the pools also have many similar principles to function. Think of a neuronal pool as two groups of trees, one growing from the ground and another flipped upside down so the tops of the two groups of the trees are touching. One side is the input and the other is the output. Each input tree or fiber divides hundreds to thousands of times, providing 1,000 or more terminal fibrils that spread into a large area in the pool to synapse with dendrites or cell bodies of the neurons in the pool. The neuronal area stimulated by each incoming nerve fiber is called its stimulatory field. Large numbers of the terminals from each input fiber will lie on the nearest neuron in its field, but progressively fewer terminals lie on the neurons farther away. Discharge of a single excitatory presynaptic terminal almost never causes an action potential in the postsynaptic neuron. Instead, large numbers of input terminals must discharge on the same neuron either simultaneously or in rapid succession to cause excitation. Some incoming fibers inhibit neurons rather than exciting them. This mechanism is the opposite of facilitation, and the entire field of the inhibitory branches is called the inhibitory zone. The degree of inhibition in the center of the zone is great because of large numbers of endings in the center and becomes progressively less toward its edges. Often it is important for weak signals entering a neuronal pool to excite far greater numbers of nerve fibers leaving the pool. This phenomenon is called divergence. Two major types of divergence occur and have entirely different purposes. The first is an amplifying divergence, where an input signal spreads to an increasing number of neurons as it passes through successive orders of neurons in its path. This type of characteristic is a type of characteristic of the corticospinal pathway in control of skeletal muscles, with a large single pyramidal cell in the motor cortex capable of exciting as many as 10,000 muscle fibers. The second is divergence to the multiple tracts. In this case, the signal is transmitted in two directions from the pool. Almost all sensory information is relayed into deeper structures of the brain and at the same time to discrete regions of the cerebral cortex. Convergence means signals from multiple endpoints uniting to excite a single neuron. Firstly, there is convergence from a single source wherein multiple terminals from a single incoming fiber tract terminate on the same neuron. Convergence can also result from input signals from multiple sources, such as convergence allows summation of information from different sources, and the resulting response is a summated effect of all the different types of information. Convergence is one of the important means whereby the central nervous system correlates, summates, and sorts different types of information. Sometimes an incoming signal to a neuronal pool causes an output excitatory signal going in one direction, and at the same time an inhibitory signal going elsewhere. For example, at the same time that an excitatory signal is transmitted by one set of neurons in the spinal cord to cause forward movement of the leg, an inhibitory signal is transmitted through a separate neuron to inhibit the muscles on the back of the leg so that they do not oppose the forward movement. This type of circuit is characteristic for controlling all antagonistic pairs of muscles. It is also called reciprocal inhibition circuit. The way this inhibition is achieved is relatively simple. The input fiber directly excites the excitatory output pathway, but it stimulates an intermediate inhibitory neuron, which secretes a different type of transmitter substance to inhibit the second output pathway from the pool. This type of circuit is also important in preventing overactivity in many parts of the brain. So thus far, we've considered signals that are merely relayed through neuronal pools. However, in many cases, a signal entering a pool causes a prolonged output discharge called after discharge, lasting a few milliseconds to as long as many minutes after the incoming signal is over. When excitatory synapses discharge on the surfaces of dendrites or soma of a neuron, a postsynaptic electrical potential develops in the neuron and lasts for many milliseconds, especially when some of the long-acting synaptic transmitter substances are involved. As long as this potential lasts, it can continue to excite the neuron, causing it to transmit a continuous train of output impulses. Thus, as a result of this synaptic after discharge mechanism alone, it is possible for a single instantaneous input signal to cause a sustained signal output lasting for many milliseconds. One of the most important of all circuits in this entire nervous system is the reverberatory or oscillatory circuit. Such circuits are caused by positive feedback when the neuronal circuit that feeds back to re-excite the input of the same circuit. Consequently, once stimulated, the circuit may discharge repetitively for a long time. The simplest type of this is with a single neuron. The output neuron sends a collateral nerve fiber back to its own dendrites or soma to re-stimulate itself. Although the importance of this type of circuit is not quite clear, theoretically, once the neuron discharges, the feedback stimuli could keep the neuron discharging for a protracted time thereafter. Sometimes both facilitatory and inhibitory fibers impinge on the reverberating circuit. A facilitatory signal enhances the intensity and frequency of the reverberation, whereas an inhibitory signal depresses or stops it. Most reverberating pathways, though, are constituted of many parallel fibers. At each cell station, the terminal fibrils spread widely. In such a system, the total reverberating signal can be either weak or strong, depending on how many parallel nerve fibers are momentarily involved in the reverberation. The input stimulus in a reverberatory circuit can last only a millisecond or so, and yet the output can last for many milliseconds or even minutes. The intensity of the output signal usually increases to a high value early in reverberation and then decreases to a critical point at which it suddenly ceases entirely. The cause of this sudden cessation is the fatigue of synaptic joints in the circuit. Fatigue beyond a certain critical level lowers the stimulation of the next neuron of the circuit below the threshold level, so that the circuit feedback is suddenly broken. The duration of the total signal before cessation can also be controlled by signals from other parts of the brain that inhibit or facilitate the circuit. Some neuronal circuits emit output signals continuously, even without excitatory input signals. At least three mechanisms can cause this effect: continuous intrinsic neuronal discharge, continuous reverberatory signals, or magical effects on the individual to cause one of the previous two. Neurons, like other excitable tissues, discharge repetitively if their level of excitatory membrane potential rises above a certain threshold level. The membrane potentials of many neurons, even normally, are high enough to cause them to emit impulses continually. This phenomenon occurs especially in many of the neurons of the cerebellum, as well as in most of the interneurons of the spinal cord. The rates at which these cells emit impulses can be increased to excitatory signals or decreased by inhibitory signals. Inhibitory signals often can decrease the rate of firing to 0. A reverberating circuit that does not fatigue enough to stop reverberation is a source of continuous impulses. Furthermore, excitatory impulses entering the reverberating pool can increase the output signal, whereas inhibition can decrease or even extinguish the signal. A pool of neurons may be emitting impulses because of intrinsic neuronal excitability or as a result of reverberation. Note that an excitatory input signal greatly increases the output signal, whereas an inhibitory input signal greatly decreases it. So the excitatory and inhibitory control signals are not the cause of the output signal, but they do control its changing level of intensity. This carrier wave system allows a decrease in signal intensity as well as an increase, whereas up to the point the types of information transmission have been mainly positive information rather than negative. This type of information transmission is used by the autonomic nervous system to control functions such as vascular tone, gut tone, degree of constriction of the iris in the eye, and the heart rate. The nerve excitatory signal to each of these areas can either be increased or decreased by accessory input signals into the reverberating neuronal pathway. Many neuronal circuits emit rhythmical output signals. For example, a rhythmical respiratory signal originates in the respiratory centers of the medulla and pons. This respiratory rhythmical signal continues throughout life. Other rhythmical signals require input stimuli into the respective circuits to initiate the rhythmical signals. All or almost all of these that have been studied experimentally have been found to result from reverberating circuits or a succession of sequential reverberating circuits that feed excitatory or inhibitory signals in a circular pathway from one neuronal pool to the next. Excitatory or inhibitory signals can also increase or decrease the amplitude of that rhythmical signal output. Almost every part of the brain connects either directly or indirectly with every other part, which creates a serious challenge. If the first part excites the second, and the second the third, and the third the fourth, and so on, until finally the signal re-excites the first part, then an excitatory signal entering any part of the brain would set off a continuous cycle of re-excitation of all parts. If this cycle should occur, the brain would be inundated by a mass of uncontrolled reverberating signals that would be transmitting no information, but nevertheless would be consuming the circuits of the brain so that none of the informational signals would be transmitted. Such an effect occurs in widespread areas of the brain during epileptic seizures. So how does the central nervous system prevent this effect from happening all the time? The answer lies mainly in two basic mechanisms that function throughout the central nervous system: inhibitory circuits and fatigue of synapses. Two types of inhibitory circuits in widespread areas of the brain help prevent excessive spread of signals. The first is inhibitory feedback circuits that return from the termini of pathways back to the initial excitatory neurons of the same pathways. These circuits occur in virtually all sensory nervous pathways and inhibit either the input neurons or the intermediate neurons in the sensory pathway when the termini become overly excited. And the second is some neuronal pools that exert gross inhibitory control over widespread areas of the brain. Synaptic fatigue means simply that synaptic transmission becomes progressively weaker the more prolonged and more intense the period of excitation. If you took a needle and poked your finger, you could graph the nervous reflex you act upon. If you did that 3 times in a row, the graph would show the strength of contraction progressively diminishes. Much of this effect is caused by fatigue of synapses in the circuit. Furthermore, the shorter the interval between successive reflexes, the less the intensity of the subsequent reflex response. Those neuronal pathways that are overused usually become rapidly fatigued, so their sensitivities decrease. Conversely, those that are underused become rested and their sensitivities increase. Thus, fatigue and recovery from fatigue constitute an important short term means of moderating the sensitivities of the different nervous system circuits. These functions help keep the circuits operating in a range of sensitivity that allows effective function. The long-term sensitivities of synapses can be changed tremendously by upregulating the number of receptor proteins at the synaptic sites when there is underactivity and downregulating the receptors when there is overactivity. The mechanism for this process is as follows. Receptor proteins are being formed constantly by the endoplasmic reticular Golgi apparatus system and are constantly being inserted into the receptor neuron synaptic membrane. However, when the synapses are overused, so that excess of transmitted substance combined with the receptor proteins, many of these receptors are inactivated and are removed from the synaptic membrane. It is indeed fortunate that upregulation and downregulation of receptors continually adjusts the sensitivity in each circuit to almost the exact level required for proper function. Consider for a moment how serious it would be if the sensitivities of a few of these circuits were abnormally high. One might then expect almost continuous muscle cramps, seizures, psychotic disturbances, hallucinations, mental tension, or other nervous disorders. Fortunately, the automatic controls normally readjust the sensitivities of the circuits back to controllable ranges of reactivity anytime the circuits begin to be too active or too depressed. This is the basis for your ability to use magic at higher and higher levels as you age, practice, and grow. Anyone has access to some extremely powerful spells, but your magical nervous system is not prepared for that kind of input or output. It takes time and effort to be able to control larger and more complex pieces of the weave. Anyway, that finishes our lecture series on the intricacies of the nervous system. We'll be diving into aberrations next class, so please come prepared. Yep. So, oh my gosh, Roll20 changed its thing.
It did an update thingy.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I did not read the tutorial.
Wait, what's different about Roll20?
They're like, Banner is like, who?
Zephaniah. Oh, that's Andrew's other kid.
Oh, that's a
Andrew's
cowboy.
other angle. Zephaniah Moon.
Zephaniah Moon is a cowboy.
Okay, so
Boy, isn't he?
the thing about my laptop is that it's not hooked up to the Ethernet cable. So I don't think it's gonna work out. I keep dropping the call.
Yep. So now we have to look at Andrew's other angle.
Oof.
You know what? Good for that. I'm not turning my camera on. I have to wonder.
Wait, no, man.
I have to wonder how many fingers I'm holding up.
Oh,
3. No, it's definitely 1.
I was going with
It is wrong, and it's
man.
also known as middle.
It's
Um,
just the pinky finger.
Wait, how many fingers was it?
It was 5 actually. We were all off.
Oh man, I was so close. Jonathan, you were saying?
why did you do this right as I hit record?
Because it's authentic.
All right, we're at the top of the round. I don't know where everybody is. Oh, you're at the bottom of the stairs. Okay. All right.
Starting to get, you know. Yep, they're
Yeah, a frog died. I remember now.
No, didn't happen.
in
You
the
know what?
closet.
You know, I think a lot of frogs die in the closet, according
Wait,
to this guy's
oh wait,
name
no. My frog doesn't roll death saves because he only has 1 HP and he
was
took
Like
15.
brutally murdered.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
There's no hope on that one. No.
I mean, I'm like, I am sorry about that, but like, you sent your frog in to a fight with.
It
To a
wasn't
museum
a combat
tour.
zone yet. It was a
We went on a museum tour. We were having a whimsically good time. And then we were attacked by an ink spill.
Well,
Suddenly. Decisively.
why can I not pull up this sheet? What's happening here?
Is it dead?
It's not dead.
Hmm.
It's just not.
Is it awake?
It just doesn't exist.
Is it going to be late to tonight's session?
All right. It's the Graves' turns. So the thing ran out of the room that they were trying to kill. So, okay. You guys, nobody's there to see what they do. So we're gonna go up to this guy who is going to attack somebody. It is going to take 2 attacks, one against Billy and one against the other person. I'm so freaking exhausted right now. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
One's going to attack you. The other one's going to attack the other one.
Does a 5 hit Billy?
Does not.
Does a
Thankfully.
12 hit Archie?
Let's see.
Okay,
No,
great. Not
I
right.
have an armor class of 13.
Archie, it's your turn. You've got a thing trying to fight you, and you heard the dying screams of a frog from downstairs.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he didn't have time to scream.
Yara screamed.
Yes,
If
she's still
that's
screaming, by
right.
the way.
if I remember
Yes.
correctly, I had cast Entangle in this
You had.
room.
Yeah.
And Billy was fine, but the bad guy was entangled.
Yes.
And then I also I was on the shelf with the dolls,
Yes.
and I was putting dolls into my bag. Or at least that was going to be my next move.
I think you put a doll into your bag.
The one we're looking for. And I think I might go ahead and just grab the other dolls just in case we need them.
Sure. That won't work.
And assuming I have movement left after that, I shall tell Billy, hey, I think it's time to go. And I'm gonna start walking away.
Yeah, I mean you just grab some stuff. You got all your movement.
Cool. I got 25 feet of movement, so 10.
It is difficult terrain. Just as a reminder.
10, 25.
I know you didn't, but I like the thought that you got out of the entangle and then just fell down the stairs. 10:25. All right. Jera, you have run down the stairs. You are currently on the first level. And the ruckus that you have caused, you and your friends, have led to many people staring at you currently.
Well, good for them. I'm looking for my friends. I'm going to look around for my friends.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception. I like to think that this is like the feeling. Have you guys ever been in like a museum and somebody sneezes like a mile and a half away and you can hear it echo through the entire building? I like to think that's kind of what just happened.
It would be
Instead of
really
sneezing,
quiet.
it was
Yeah.
screaming.
7.
7. You look around and everybody's looking at you and you cannot see your friends, but you also cannot help yourself but from waving at everybody and saying hi.
I think she's too upset for that sort of thing.
I can see her do both. Like, hello, good day. Hi.
I saw my best friend.
Pardon me, excuse me, how are you doing?
All right. Anything you'd like to do on your turn other than that? You did not see your friends. You did run down the stairs, and the last you did see them, they were upstairs, but also bad, mean things are upstairs.
Okay, well, if I don't see my friends, I guess I'll head back upstairs.
All right.
carefully or something.
Sure,
I'll go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself. How about that?
that would be beneficial.
Okay. Okay.
I could figure out how to do that. Oh, you just do it.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, all of this is going on, but Dell and Yorick are not
Uh-huh.
here.
Mm-mm.
You guys are hanging out, right?
Yeah, we're
In my room.
in his apartment. Wow, we spent last session bonding, digging a little bit into Yorick's past, going over some magical theory and stuff.
That's right. I remember this. Okay.
We were basically just waiting for them to finish their scouting mission so we can,
Yeah.
enact a
So
plan to
what-
take the oh
So what are the more, dangerous battle here of trying to figure out how to do my magic?
yes.
So
That's right. Okay.
Critical.
Jerry, you do heal yourself. The room in front of you is the room where the gray oozes were. They don't seem to be actively trying to come out of that room and do anything. But you do see them still moving around in there. Billy, it is your turn. Your buddy Archie just fell down the stairs after packing a bunch of dolls into his bag and saying, "We gotta go."
You are muted there.
Billy is definitely like just like and like gesturing towards the doll that's still in front of him that he's fighting. Like, I need help.
That's
Okay.
the moment that he fell down the stairs. I need
It's restrained.
Help. All right. Well, sure. Whatever. And he is going to. Oh, I thought I did have one that did that. Shoot. He's going to go with his favorite. He's going to pull a mug out of his pocket, out of his bag, and he's going to chuck it real hard at the doll. Dex save DC 12.
I think he. Oh, it just has disadvantage. That's right. Okay. Disadvantage on a dex save, DC 12. He got a 21 and an 18.
Ooh. That is
You're 5 feet away from the guy. You chuck a mug at him, and he's like, "You have horrible aim, bro." It smashes against the wall on the other side of the room.
Well, he's just like, and that's his turn.
You're not gonna move?
but that's it.
It's an opportunity attack.
Yeah,
I
but he's
gave you
got
that cup.
disadvantage on it. I mean,
Yeah, so he's restrained, so it should do something for him. For you.
Oh, he is restrained, isn't he?
he'll still try, but like he's disadvantage. What's
No,
the
I'm gonna go with the initial. I'm not gonna metagame. Billy chucked something. It aggressively somehow didn't work, and he's just flabbergasted. That's my turn. Take it or leave it.
Take it early.
Well,
Boom,
it's
there it
its
is.
turn.
There it is.
So it is restrained and it needs to make a strength saving throw to get out, right?
Yeah, strength.
And what's its DC?
DC is 14.
He rolled a 19.
I love Sleepy John sessions.
It just looks at you. You chuck this mug past his head. You look at it stunned, and it goes, okay, and then just goes to swing at you, bro.
Dex.
Oh, it got a 19. Does that hit?
Yup,
All right.
sure does.
It just 2 whole damage.
Okay.
Just clocks you right in the head. Archie, you are at the bottom of the stairs. You hear glass shatter from the stairs above you. and a really high-pitched voice say, "Help!" Also, at the end of the hall, you see Jera, white as a ghost, crying.
Give me a second, Jarrett. We'll start walking back upstairs.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll run back up there and then say, Billy, time to go. And I'll walk in and I'll smack it with my shillelagh stick.
Stick.
Yeah. Cane shillelagh.
That does hit.
What was that? 18. Nice. That is 1d8 plus 4. Magic bludgeoning. 7.
Not dead, but quite hurt. I mean, as much as you can tell that a doll is hurt, but hurt. That is end of your turn. Anything else?
Yeah, Billy's not like super bad hurt or anything, is he? Yeah, no. That's it.
All right, Jera, you're at the top of the stairs looking for your friends. You look to your left after looking at the oozes. Archie has tumbled down a flight of stairs and looks at you and says, 1 second, and then runs back up those stairs.
Jera is just following Archie, like trying to explain, but all blubbering and inarticulate. She's all like, and it was there was a thing, and I tried. I didn't even know it was, and then he.
Nice.
Yeah, you get up there. Sure.
She's just a blubbering mess.
As you slowly trot your way up the stairs, do you have to go up a flight of stairs, like a normal flight of stairs, like a little kid, like on all fours? The visual of that while you're blubbering is really funny.
Well, I mean, stairs are she's just north of 3 feet tall.
I mean,
So I feel like, she could run upstairs, but she'd be really winded. And if she's walking, she's gonna have to like take a big step. And
This is probably the worst thing that I've ever Googled. Midget walking upstairs. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. You could do that. you got the leg spread to be able to walk upstairs, I guess. Okay, you're at the top. You walk up the stairs. You're blubbering. Archie has stopped, smacked a doll that is currently attacking Billy, Chuck Wagon Sumner. That was the name you chose for the other campaign.
One of them. Yeah. Well, no, Billy likes he decided to try out the guild for LARPing or whatever, and that's the name he came up with. He was real adamant about the 4 basic food groups: beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard.
Oh gosh, I don't know what I missed, but
That was fun.
Billy, it is your turn. If a doll could look at you with sarcasm, it is.
cool.
Billy's gonna toss a molten ball of glass at it.
Oh, my land.
Archie's right behind it, bro.
No, he's over to the side.
Well, your aim hasn't been that great.
This is not 18, 23 to hit.
That one hits.
Gonna be like 0 damage.
It's not that great of an achievement since it's 5 feet in front of you, but
Well, I missed it with a mug, so in all reality, yes. Yes, it is. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
really redemption.
Billy's annoyed.
It looks pretty tattered. It is its turn. It's not caught anymore. It's gonna take one swing at you and one swing at Archie because you hit it and it hit it and he hit it. Sorry. Let's see. So on the first to Billy, we got a 16 to hit.
Matches.
Okay. 2 bludgeoning damage. And to Archie, we got a nat 20 for a total of 7 bludgeoning damage.
Wow, big damage.
You know, when I upload these videos to YouTube, it asks if the videos are child friendly, and I have to ashamedly press no every time.
Not even close.
All right, Archie, it is your turn.
Um,
Era is up the stairs behind you, blubbering. It's all my fault, shiny tears.
um, Archie's gonna hit the doll. Let me grab that. Shillelagh. That is an 11 to hit.
That misses.
Ugh. And then seeing Jera in a blubbery mess, he's gonna say, "Oh, are you hurt?" And he's gonna try to heal her for spending number equal to half your druid level or less.
He
Right,
has
to-
like some dried blood on her, but she is not currently hurt.
I love the mental image of Archie like going to take a swing and missing and just like playing it off like I was actually gonna heal you. I didn't miss. I was doing something else.
So if you had any missing health points, that is restored by 6.
Jared,
Um,
you respond, it will be your turn.
You don't understand. It's all my fault. I didn't have to go in there. I was just curious. It's just like on her knees. I mean, it's hard to tell the difference from up there, but
It looks like she's just down one more step than anything you're gonna do, or you're just gonna, I mean, it's perfectly fine if you spend your turn blubbering.
I think I'll go full blubber.
Okay.
One blubber, please.
I don't know if that's particularly inspiring, but yeah, I don't think I can metagame any thing useful into this.
That's all right. Billy, it is your turn. You look a little slightly tattered, I think, but it looks more tattered than you.
I was about to be like, nah, it's just been a couple points of health, and then I realized, oh, that's a third. That's a third of my health. So yeah, he's probably feeling it a little bit more. He is going to try again. Another last ball, and he's gonna roll an 11. Right? Yeah, an 11.
Okay.
That's right.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Does not hit.
If my character dies to a doll in an attic, I will
You
probably
caused it
have to quit. I will probably have to quit D&D.
Well, it's its turn, so it's gonna punch you and Archie one more time.
do it.
Probably in its last struggles.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I know a 16 hits for Billy, and does a 13 hit Archie?
Yes, a 13 is my armor class.
Okay. 2 to Billy and 3 to Archie.
3. Why is he always hitting me harder?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's because he's slapping Billy straight, but he's backhanding you on the backswing. And backhanding is so much worse than just a regular slap.
It's true. That's me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will slap back.
Slap
cane.
back. No, you
With an 8 hit.
no, you will not.
I'm gonna.
You know what? You know what?
Hmm.
Let's take a break to recoup. Dell and Yorick.
Yeah,
Thanks.
what's up?
What are you doing?
We're going over some of my notes and my family history, and he's trying to help me comprehend how to use this magic, even though he doesn't quite understand. But last we left off, we were going over my notes and stuff,
Okay.
and we were trying to figure out. So, how does one extend himself? What the hell does that mean? Like,
So, just for meta reasons, you do not have the ability yet to be able to.
no, it's I am very close to one more
Okay.
level.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay.
All
Don't
right,
know if that will
Yannick.
help.
So yes, according to the my calculations, if you just focus inside and then exert your will, you already do it when you lift when you're working out. You're exerting your will to lift
Yeah,
the
that
weights. Yes,
that
so
makes
then
sense.
it's just there's no physical weight, but there's internal weight. So you must exert the internal weight. Yes, try it out, Yorick.
I
You-
do have a Arcana student dice actually. How much? What's the bonus on that?
It's a D4.
Uno
You
di
can help.
quattro.
Yeah, that's about what I figured would happen. But a 12 is better than an 11.
This is true.
Yes.
Yorick, you are sitting straddled on your bench, your weight bench, talking to him, and you're thinking really hard. You got your eyes closed, you're really focused, your hands are on your head, you have a mild headache. You are thinking really hard, exert your will, and you look forward at Dell, and for a split second, you reach out with another form of yourself and tap Dell on the shoulder and let out a little toot.
I sorry, I
I
got
was like,
distracted by something.
I
Yes,
like
keep going.
almost, I almost grasped it. I think like it's like I'm missing something, and you're like, see like a tear coming out of his eye because he's been trying so hard for like literally his entire life. So like,
Yeah,
I'm
Yori.
so close. Okay, let's keep
Oh,
going. Let's
yeah,
run through
yes,
these
yes.
notes. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Keep going. Yes, inside. Exert. Exert. No, not here. Here.
And then for the next 3 turns, we will be coming back to Dell and Yorick. Just Yorick going anyway, next turn, and then Yorick. Okay, next turn. Archie, it is your turn. Nope, you just went.
Yeah.
Sarah, it is your turn. You are watching 2 of your closest friends absolutely fail to beat a dress.
Me?
It feels like that could be taken wrong.
Well, I nobody is listening to me apologize, so I will. Wow, I do not have any good spells.
Same.
Well, I guess I'll inspire Billy, and then I will charge forward and slash the dress with my adorable little rapier.
You have a rapier? That's adorable.
I have one question for Archie. Does she need to do anything for entangle, or is it just
I think it's just when the spell is cast. Let me see.
in either case, Jara, go ahead and roll your attack.
Yeah, just a creature in the area when you cast a spell.
That seems to be damage.
Yes, sir.
I hope that's damage.
1d8 plus 4. Yep, that's damage.
You send Dad the Hulu login.
Woo!
Hey,
Nice.
All right, we'll take the 12 plus 8.
how the heck?
Natural 20.
Oh, okay.
And an 8 on the die. So
Oh yeah, dude. Nice.
2 8s on the die. Yeah, well, it doubled it, I guess. I think this
Oh,
system,
yeah.
I think the system can either double it or roll it again. And I don't remember if you have to reset that or anyway. Anyway, you did 20 damage. She just blubbering walks up to this thing, pulls out a rapier and just stabs it, and it instantly disintegrates into dust.
He was a good frog. He didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it at all.
I don't even think York has swung that hard yet. That's the one thing he does.
Yeah, Billy is definitely a little more scared of Jera now.
Like it just took no effort. And
Well,
she's
Did it
so
with tears
light.
in the eyes.
She's so light. She's just stepping on top of all the spiny ivies that Archie created. So she's also taller than normal. But the dress is dead. The dress is very dead. It had 20 HP to begin with.
Hey,
Hey, it's a lot for level 2s, all right? Come on, guys. It's more than I have total.
You both had
That's not me
gotten
too.
down to 2 HP between the two of you, and then Jara just came in and would have whacked it with one hit. But, you know, girls, am I right?
So, Jera, what's going on? What's wrong? Billy, help her. I'm not very empathetic.
Okay, in the meta, what's the frog's name?
Tobias Johansson.
Having just had a little therapy in obliterating a living creature. Wait. She's going to say Tobias. He was so brave.
Archie's gonna walk right past her and hopefully not fall down the stairs, but descend them in a quick manner.
You descend. The smell of dead frog permeates the air.
Jara is at first, just like devastated that he's taking it that way, but then she's going to realize that he's walking into a very dangerous situation and be like, wait, and like charge after him with a sword. But like not charging after him with a sword.
Yeah, she's gonna stab me like she did the dress. Where is he?
It's like, no, don't go in there. There's a what's it? It's too strong.
The question I have for you, Archie, is do you go in the room?
That's a question I have for Archie as well. Can I have this be down to a persuasion check from Jera?
Yeah, it'll be persuasion against something of yours. What's your wisdom?
I'm pretty wise. I've got an 18 in wisdom.
Well, you should have the wisdom to not go in there then.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is why I'm not just busting in there.
Well, I'm glad you're not either because this is a child. Help. Okay.
Yeah, Archie will not open the door and he'll just stop.
Jara with the high rolls today. Jeez.
Tobias is dead.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever done more HP damage than I had at max HP with a character before. She's just gonna give like a nod.
And you're sure?
More emphatic nod. There might be a little Tobias like on her clothing, actually, but
There's a frog toe just sticking to her sleeve.
wait, didn't he have like a hat or something?
He did. Wear a
Yep.
top hat.
Wear a top hat.
Top hat. That's what it was.
Well, I don't have that either. But there's
Um,
a Latin version of it somewhere, which could maybe be recovered.
I have the doll. You should go.
Everybody, please roll me a. Well, okay. Before we do that, we're gonna roll a stealth check to see how nonchalant you guys can get out of the building. But Billy, before we do that, is there anything else that you would like to do? Just to give you the option. You're muted.
While Billy is still up there, can he do a quick like investigation check just to double check over everything up there?
Sure, of course.
I know what my investigation is.
It's 12.
No, it's considerably higher. And I'm also going to use one of my student die. So add a d4 to it. All right. So and 14.
14.
14.
Okay. You scan around the room. It looks to be pretty barren, other than the things that you've already taken. The shelf with all of the dolls is now, of course, empty. And then what you had been fighting before is currently nothing on the ground. It's just dust. Let's see. Anything else in this room that I need to tell you about? Yeah, really nothing. It's just a couple of little oddities here and there. Mostly stuff that was just too strange to display on the main floor. There's a riding toy in the corner that didn't get messed with. That's resembling a rock, the bird on a spring. It's adult sized. The dress made of wings with wings made of bones you just destroyed. And then the dolls are gone. So yeah, it's pretty much barren at this point.
Okay, yeah. Billy will just descend and join Jara and Archie.
Right?
Stealth check.
This time, Jara will wave at anybody who looks at.
And you
know,
said you wanted to check for this?
all the people that saw that she was hysterical a minute ago. What are we checking?
Stealth check to get out of the building.
Stealth? Oh, well, then I won't wave at anybody.
I thought it was an odd choice.
It would be an odd choice for stealth. wouldn't
Since we're sneaking out of the building, this time I will specifically wave at everybody.
Archie is too sad to stealth. He got a 6.
I mean,
Goodness.
What?
Era, once again.
Wow.
I'm good at things.
so just
Arkansas was pretty good at it.
meta a little
Okay,
bit,
no,
I
no.
guess.
Uh-huh.
Why are we trying to be like they knew we came into the building? Why are we trying to
You've made a lot of noise. And you are stealing something from there that you're not supposed to have.
I believe
Billy
his words
is
were
not.
nonchalant.
So
Billy
He's just gonna-
is guilty by association.
I
he's gonna
thought
do the
we had all agreed that Archie would be a spider.
yeah, that was the original.
Yeah, but then my best friend died, so
And if anybody asks me about all the noise, I'll just ask them about all of the murder creatures that are jumping out
Oh.
at me while I'm taking.
How have they been able to ask you? You're a ghost. You flit through the walls. You don't exist. Real
Your
people.
stealth roll was high.
Oh. Well, I thought we were just discussing why we were stealthing, and I'm a little confused on that myself.
Well, in any case, I rolled higher than Archie with a 7.
Okay, yeah. You guys walk by the main desk. The lady says, "I hope you all enjoyed your time here at the manor. Didn't you come in with another friend of yours?" And then she just kind of trails off as you guys head out the door. You look around, you don't know where Jera went, but you're out the door and you have the dolls. Dell and Yorick.
Mhm.
I think you guys feel like it's been a it's been a suspicious amount of time that your friends have not returned.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely a focus of I got a glimmer of my thing. They don't exist in my head. So
Yeah, after a little bit.
I'm just saying, like, this is what he spent his entire life on trying to do. If I got any glimpse of hope, that's what he's focused on.
While he's
Andrew's
got that.
really leaning into his stealth role right now. So
He
we'll
is.
just-
Yeah. Andrew, wait, when did just kidding. No. Oh,
he planned
so,
it.
so yeah, I see that York's pretty much he's like into this. So then I'm just gonna after a few moments kind of take a step back, let him keep straining and focusing on that. And then I'm gonna go and I just go, pick us up some food from the Fire Jolt Cafe and then take it back.
Yeah.
Oh,
It-
man.
it's questionable whether or not York had taken a breath in the time between you. But while you were heading out to the Fire Jolt Cafe, you do run into Billy, Archie, and Jera, who look a little. Well, Jera looks fine, but the other two look a little bit worse for wear.
You've returned already. It's so soon. I was just about to get us some drinks. Is everyone no? Okay, I'll meet you at the room. I'll get plenty of. I'll meet you back at the room.
Vera is so torn between being, empathetic for Archie and being, personally traumatized right now. She does not know what to do with herself.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. I fully get that.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, no, Archie's gonna follow everybody.
Okay. You head back to the room. As you approach the door, you hear loud grunting.
Archie's gonna hand the bag of dolls to Billy and say, "That sounds like a lot in there." I'm gonna go.
Are you sure you want to be alone right now?
Can we do anything?
He's just gonna walk away.
This is going to spiral into a lot of necromancy, isn't it?
Witherbloom for life.
Baby,
Let's go.
Witherbloom.
Yeah.
It's going to be just the overarching new campaign of how do I bring this frog back to life? What do I need to do?
Billy's gonna like watch him go and then just kind of heave a sigh, and then he's gonna like hear the grunting again and just be like, knock on the door. Everything okay in there? Need more toilet paper or something?
I just it's open.
I'm-
Don't even answer the question. It's open.
That's what I'm worried about.
Billy's gonna like crack it open and just like a little bit be like, why are you grunting? Should I come back? We got news.
Practicing magic. You good? You good?
York,
Oh.
you hear this knock on the door. You're quite focused. Give me another Arcana check with advantage.
Come on.
Nat 20. Here, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
A 9.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, yeah.
You can feel it. You know the connection that you're trying to make. It's just like it's like trying to climb a cliff in Tears of the Kingdom when you don't have any more stamina.
Ooh, it's right there. It's
You make that final jump to try and make it there, and not quite.
Huge progress still. Huge. I'm getting there.
Billy, you enter and you see Yorick pouring in sweat. Jarrah is right behind you, and Dell is coming down the hall with a tray of drinks
and muffins.
and muffins.
You need some carbs.
Yeah, I do.
Who knew that? Well, actually, yes, not many people realize the connection of practicing magic on an empty stomach. You know, you need that proper energy, proper mind, proper body, proper soul for the connection of magic. Maybe that's the. Oh, we're gonna go over to the board. I'm like, oh, hey, hello, everyone. Hello.
Charlie's gonna be like, "Whoa, you guys have been working
And then
hard."
once I notice, like everyone's walked in, it's like, well, this brings me to a good point, and then like I'll hand everyone a key to my door. So, like, here you go, Billy.
Oh,
Here you go, Dell. Well, we're missing one. Here you go, Jarrah.
oh yeah. Where did Archie go? He was right with you.
So things did not go as planned. The
This is
the
a recon
upside.
mission.
So we got good news, we got bad news. Well, I guess the good news is we did successfully recon. We just didn't stop there. So the
While
good
Billy's
news is
explaining, Jarrah's just staring into.
we got the doll, and like he's gonna pull out the doll from the bag and then just like drop it because that's not the most important thing right now. He's gonna put the bag down. The unfortunate news, he's gonna like look down at Jarrah like awkwardly, like
She just bursts out crying.
so
Oh no.
there was some unexpected traps. And Tobias
The frog?
is yeah, he's not with us anymore. He's dead.
Okay, so then what happened?
Yeah, like York's wiping off his sweat. He's expecting more as well. Ugh. Ugh.
I mean, there was I don't actually know, like Jarrah's the one who accidentally
Okay. Okay, so yes, Tobias,
But
yes, he passed,
what
and then
is Archie in like the hospital ward or like
no,
what, like
Archie's I mean his body is okay. He did get beat up by a dress. I did too. But like physically he's fine. It was a bony dress, so like it wasn't just like and like
is that a metaphor or
no, it was a very like it was a loose fabric dress, so things I think went through it. So like you can't blame someone who threw
is Archie
and it
alive
missed.
or not? Like,
oh yes, I saw Archie as we were going. I guess he just
no.
went to the room.
Archie's okay physically, I'm
Okay,
saying,
okay.
but emotionally, he did just lose what is arguably his best friend.
The frog?
Yeah. Have you not seen him with the frog?
Oh yes, he's very
yeah,
attached to the frog. Yes, but
the one with the
Wait.
cute top hat, right?
we have magic.
Tobias.
Right.
And like Billy is getting really close to that tone of
Mhm.
like a father who's just like
Mm.
knows all this random shit about his kid's TV show and is just flabbergasted that you don't know all about the Australian hit that is Bluey.
I was literally about to say Bluey.
Yeah. Yes.
Bluey is phenomenal. Like I
Everyone
enjoy
loves Bluey.
watching that as well. So
Oh, that's a show for adults that the kids can also enjoy. I
right.
firmly stand by that.
I love Bluey. I'm all about it.
I'm this close to doing the whole like VPN thing just so I can get season 4 because it's not on Disney Plus yet. Like it pisses me off because I see clips from it and I'm like, oh, it looks good. The beach episode. Sometimes you just feel sad.
But
Anyway,
you-
so that's the energy that Billy has right
Yeah,
now when
that's it.
talking about Tobias.
so you found Sassy Sally Jane, acquired her, left unscathed, unseen, and
Mm,
the frog died.
And Archie is very upset about this, and we need to be there for him during this time.
Jared
It's
is just
shaken.
going to. I thank you for the muffins. That's very nice. And set down the tea and just like run away.
I mean,
think
I'm
you lost
working
another
on
one.
it, but I can't be at two places at once yet.
I'll talk to Archie. He is my roomie, so I will talk to him.
Yeah. Sounds like Jera might need more than one person by the sound of it.
Yeah, Jera needs help as well, it would seem.
There's a lot of guilt. I got to be honest. I don't entirely know. Like, we split up. Okay, so we went in there. We were at the top story, but we weren't in the attic yet. And then like we were all looking in different rooms, and me and Archie went up to the attic, and we found the dolls. That was exactly like it was. There was a doll shelf. It was right there. And then
Easy
there was
peasy. Right.
there was a trap. And like as we were fighting, I heard Jarrah scream. And yeah, well, yes. Like I said, floating bone dress.
Oh, this
You
is
had
the
to be
dress
there.
that you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it was a tough dress. Like it was
I'm sure it was
hard to
very...
hit. Like it moved a lot. Like it was all over the place. Anyways, so like I heard Jarrah scream, and then all of a sudden, a little bit later, Jarrah comes up. Like we're still fighting the bone dress, and then Jarrah comes up, and she's just broken and explains that like something got it, like something killed Tobias, and then she was real upset when Archie was about to go into wherever Tobias was because I guess there was still a trap there or something, and then we left. So I don't have the full story, but like I highly doubt like it's her fault, but she clearly blames herself.
Did you guys grab like the body? I'm sure someone might be able to do something.
Well, no.
I'm not a fan of necromancy personally, though it does exist. I have some uncles that did things.
I mean, I think that's what Archie was gonna do. Like he was gonna go get the body, and Jarrah was very adamant that he not. Like I mean, something got her freaked out in that room. I don't think she ever said what.
Do you think it was the whole murder?
I mean, yeah, but like whatever murdered the frog probably was still there,
Oh,
or like was still a concern.
should we warn the authorities that the mention that the
I mean, at this point, well,
Manor
one
has a murderer inside of the room?
there may have been a little bit of destruction of private property, so perhaps we don't. You know,
let the Manor deal with its own murderer.
also,
Alright, well-
let's be perfectly honest. Think of how many times now we've dealt with things that tried to kill us, and the staff was just like, "Oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen," and then it happened
So
again.
that's why I'm so surprised you did more with just reconnaissance without me, since I've been taking the brunt force of like
No,
everything that's attacked us.
trust me. We didn't have much. Like we weren't looking for a fight. We were just looking around, and then things, a dress of bones attacked me and got between me and the exit.
That's very unusual.
But I'm just saying we haven't looked for any of our fights either. So like
So,
I would just like
I mean, maybe next
expect
time you
that's
can
gonna
come with
happen
us.
with whatever we do. Well, that was the plan. You're gonna do a recon, and we do the mission, and then we.
Yes. Yeah, but I
I thought it
going
was foolproof, but
going forward, perhaps we just assume that anywhere we go on campus and apparently off campus to anywhere, there's going to be a fight. This is a lot more like I did not think university was going to be this chaotic. I got to be perfectly honest. I thought there was going to be a little bit of book reading, a little bit of finger wiggling. I'd learn to blow some new glass, and then I'd go home.
I don't know.
This is-
My college experience was pretty wild.
that's why I'm always combat ready, man. At a snap, I'm ready.
You have the right idea. I am too old for this shit.
Well, no comment on your age. I don't think we should set into paranoia quite yet. Though
How many,
a lot of
how many
strange
times have we
events.
been attacked
About 4.
on this camp?
About 4 times, I think. But
Is that normal? This is what the young
I don't know, but I am here for it.
So, as much as I'm not for sure, I mean, Archie's most likely going back to your room. I don't know where Jara's going, so we should probably wrap this up. I'll grab some Mountain Dew shotgun grass that cheers me up. I'll try to give that to her. We'll see if that works. And then, Billy, you're the better at the talking part. I'll try to just hand some food and snacks and see if that helps for her. And you can do the talking part.
You all do
Sure.
need to find what's her face too.
Mina, yes.
We have emotionally broken comrades. We have to take care of that first.
uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I just gotta live with like Dell and York's just not gonna understand the severity of this. And like,
nope.
all right, I guess we're gonna cheer these guys up in this silly
Yeah.
situation.
Dell's gonna pick up the doll and put it in his bag, and be like, all right, how to go talk to Archie. You two find Jetta. If you're unable to find her, and then perhaps we would need to turn in Sassy Sally Jane tomorrow. Either way, I'm going to my room.
Oh, I'll hand the extra key that was originally gonna be for Archie. That just passes on to him.
All right, so Dell is going to his room.
Mhm.
Billy is going to find Jera.
Yep.
York is as well. Archie, you are where?
Archie is heading not to the mansion. Nobody worry. Is heading out to find his friend, no, acquaintance technically, and co-worker Shuvadri Glintmantle.
Okay. And
that-
Jera, where did you go?
I guess just back to her room.
Okay. All right. It is 8:20 right now. I know we got some kids to put to bed in about 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and just take a break until like 35. And then we'll come
Should
back.
be good.
We'll jump back into it. I only took that break because I had to poop so bad.
Glad you started the recording for that.
Yep. I need this to be saved for all eternity. I feel as good as my avatar looks.
So amazing.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about actually getting cornrows.
Pull it off.
Have
You
you
should
asked
definitely
Mariah
do
yet?
it.
I have not asked Mariah, but these are things that doesn't require communication in a marriage with.
According to
Yours truly. Yeah, so Donald?
How's it seeing if eyes were focused on you or not? Is all.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Let's start with the corner up here. Dell. You're making your way downtown, walking fast, faces past. Yeah. Are you wanting to stop anywhere? I know you were talking about a bookstore before. Are you wanting to do anything on the way to your room, or do you want to just crash cut straight to your room?
It did occur to me. Not the bookstore. Do I have the map available? I think we might have. I don't recall if I asked you about it or not, but materials for like spell casting and whatnot. I assume there's a place that you could perhaps purchase different spellcrafting components and things of that nature on campus.
Yeah.
Perfect. I want to go to said place and pick up a brass brazier
What'd you call me?
I called you a brass brazier. I mean, look at that beard. Yeah, but a brass brazier and a bunch of charcoal, incense, and herbs. He has a list of the specific stuff that he would need, but a bunch of that stuff.
Okay.
And then he's gonna go to the room. As far as pricing, I don't know how much the brazier is gonna cost, but for the rest of the stuff, about 10 gold's worth of the rest of the stuff.
How do you spell brazier? Because
Brazier.
oh, okay. And then what was that? What was the other stuff you need? I'm looking up pricing.
Well, I'm just getting 10 gold's worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs, and then the brass brazier as well. So the brazier is the only extra thing on top.
Okay. Sure. We got the Mystic Emporium, which is like the one-stop shop for all your spell casting needs.
Noise.
The Brass Brazier, crafted with precision, provide the perfect vessel for your magical rituals. Sturdy construction and insulating properties ensure that your spells burn bright and true. 10 gold.
So 10 gold for that, and then 10 gold for that. I am going to.
And then for charcoal, it's 5 silver a pack, specially treated to burn evenly and emit minimal smoke, allowing you to focus on channeling your magical energies without distractions.
Nice. I'm just gonna get the brazier on this trip,
Okay.
and I'm gonna come back later for other stuff. But yeah, just the brazier today.
All right.
I need to work a few more shifts.
It has been a week, so you do get your 5 gold or whatever.
I am so close. I need to work one more shift.
Right. Del, what are you doing in your room? Well, something we don't talk about then.
If we could just cut to no. He's gonna open the doors, realize that Archie's not there. He's gonna go ahead and actually no, he's gonna hold on to the key because he would know the keys too. He's gonna just go ahead and put the brazier there and then start setting up some books just on the floor, and he's just gonna wait there.
Okay. Billy and York, you guys are heading out looking for Joseph Boggs.
Yep.
Any places you're looking for in particular?
And that's Billy had an
Honest-
idea towards the direction she was running and crying.
Oh, you're looking for Jara. I forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
Ben.
they also don't know where they're going.
I mean, we know where Jara's room is, don't we?
Right. And we knew the direction she at least ran.
So, does the direction she ran and the direction of her room coincide?
I mean, technically, she just walked out of the room.
Jara, do they coincide?
Yes. She went to her room.
And yeah,
There we go.
we go that way.
You finally make it to Jara's room, and you knock on the door. Oh my gosh, Winston, you scared the poop out of me.
You hear, hello?
Did he?
It's Billy and York.
Can we come
Wanted to
in?
see if you wanted to talk.
You hear little footsteps and the door opens.
The
She says,
pitter patter of little.
Um, How far
was
do I need to
just,
lean to fit through the door?
Does it? Can we actually get inside her room?
She's 3 feet tall, not 3 inches tall.
Yorick is.
I mean, like Billy's at least 6 something, so that's like what
It's
her
like
doors.
crawling. It's like crawling into an attic.
Like Billy will have to stoop. Yorick would have to hands and knees it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Before I crawl, so I don't like smash it. I try to like stick my arm into hand you like a Mountain Dew shocking grasp and a muffin, and then I let Billy go in first.
Huh.
Really, like he's crouching and he like tries to find a place to sit quickly so he can kind of try to settle without punching. It hurts his back.
It's like Gandalf in a hobbit hole. It's not that bad.
She will accept the gifts and give a little smile and gesture to whatever empty space is available between all of the stuff. I don't think there's a chair that would work for you. In fact, it might be hard to find a chair in general. But where she was apparently, and there's a bunch of like crumpled up paper over by. There's probably not a fireplace in here, but she was pretty much curled in a blanket in the corner, scribbling.
I imagine I just get
Winky,
in
the
through
one-eyed
doorway.
pet rock, is there comforting nearby.
How old is Jera? I don't remember.
My character sheet says she's 16.
Oh, that's right. She's pretty young. Okay. What do you guys do?
So
Bill-
Jera, what happened? As you see me on all fours, just at your door. I didn't want to try to break any furniture, so I just like didn't go all the way in, just so I can close the door.
We were looking for the dolly. And,
Right.
and we split up to check different rooms.
Did that sound like us? Yep.
And there was one that had all sorts of stuff in it, and I got distracted. And I lost track of Billy.
So, well, you were making it seem like something was your fault. Like, what's that about?
Well, no, it wasn't. It was. I mean, things happen, right?
Yeah.
Bad things sometimes. Sometimes bad things happen. She has managed in the intermediary period to kind of end up back in the corner, and she's scribbling absentmindedly on a notebook. And then she'll just tear a page and throw it.
York would now realize it's a good idea to dispel his armor so he can fit better.
That might help, but you're supposed to always be ready for a fight.
Like, I can put it right back on.
There is a certain dress who underestimated me once today already.
And then, like, you hear like a little sigh of relief because he was definitely like holding his breath and like it was hard for him to breathe. Well,
I don't know what it was. It was. I thought it was a ink spot, and I went closer, and it turned into a monster. We didn't warn the museum.
I'm sure by this point they are aware. I imagine. I mean, we weren't quiet about it, so I'm sure they've gone and checked, and they're much more capable than we are.
And they're gonna find The
They won't find anything. He's completely decimated.
just a really flat hat and nondescript slime.
So just in the chaos of being attacked by these things, like the frog was in the crossfire. I'm assuming then, is that what I'm picking up on?
He was such a good frog. Not
He did have a cute top hat.
cantankerous or nothing. Always patient, played along. I didn't know many frogs, but he seemed like a good frog. Didn't deserve it.
Jera is the closest to Samwise Gamgee I've ever seen anybody play a D&D. Not that that's not bad at all. It just like it just occurred to me like the character has very many similarities.
Definitely an inspiration.
Um,
Enjoy it.
I don't know how this would necessarily look, but like York would try to extend his arm to be like, it just he's not gonna like put it around you or anything, but he's just gonna have it near you, and his best attempt to comfort, like without trying to destroy your house.
You kind of reach out and like as you awkwardly like hover hand trying to figure out what to do. Jera is, she's looking down at the page. She's just gonna lean into it.
And like York's gonna hold that position the best he can, no matter how uncomfortable he is.
Cramp, cramp.
What was all your weightlifting training if it wasn't for this? And I'm like, whisper the best I can in this environment. It's like, Billy, I'm not good with these words. Like,
What can we do for Archie? I mean, you guys should you should check on Archie.
no,
we've got
we did have,
Dell.
yeah.
I
And-
would, but I don't know what to say, and I don't think he'd want to see me.
You have nothing really to feel guilty about, Jera. And I'm sure Archie doesn't blame you. Who was supposed to know that was supposed to happen? I mean, let's be honest. Why was he bringing such a squishy frog to a museum anyways? Could have got stepped on. Could have happened to any of us.
But it didn't, did it? Because
Well, the
because
frog
you
wasn't
were
with.
on the mission, you didn't get distracted.
I mean, I did get my butt handed to me by a dress made of bones that you came in and saved us from. That's a good thing. You did a good thing there.
I'm sure you had it sorted.
You'd be surprised.
That was all.
They definitely didn't.
I can't pretend I comprehend what happened, but from the sound of it, he did not have a hand.
The dress was very, very shifty, and it's really hard to. My arm is a little bit sore today, so I wasn't throwing good pitches.
I can't not think of a wedding dress, so I can't comprehend this for whatever reason. So, but it
I
sounded
mean, like
you
think of a
saved their
wedding
butts.
dress made of bones.
We could talk about that later. It's fine.
But the point is, Jera, you came,
You saved their butts.
you saved their butts. You did a good job. And Tobias was not your fault. And Archie knows that. I'm sure Archie knows that. The best thing we can do is all try to be there for each other and for Archie.
We gotta do something for him. Does he like cake? Cake makes everyone feel better. Muffins?
I did bring one more muffin and one more soda, but like I said, like it works for me, and I know it doesn't work for everyone. So, but I got him anyway.
Sometimes it's
Uh,
just the thought that counts.
right. Right. She's just scribbling away.
All right.
She kind of crumbles another page, throws it away.
Is she actually like writing anything? Or is
Yeah.
she just like drawing circles or something?
Bit of both.
Is
Working on her apology letter.
I was gonna say, is Billy close enough to see? Oh,
Archie, you didn't go back to your room. Where did you go?
Archie went to go find his coworker slash acquaintance Shuvadri Glintmantle.
You do manage to find him after a little bit of searching. It doesn't take too long because he is quite large. Yeah, what would you like to tell him? Oh, Archie, what's up, man?
Yo, Glintmantle. Hey, so you know that club you do? The student mages of faith, that one?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, so I have a friend, you know, probably don't know him. He just lost someone. Do you guys do like, like if I were to accompany this friend to a meeting, would you guys like, you know, I don't know. He's really lost.
Oh,
I mean, like, where's he trying to get to, man?
Uh, he probably wants closure.
Um, I see. I mean, yeah, bring him along, man. Like, I mean, we can't guarantee anything, but we can try, man. You know?
Yeah, and he's gonna ask me when I tell him about this. Do frogs go to the good place?
That's a pretty deep question, but like,
I'll
I'm
take that as a yes.
generally no, but like, you know, they don't really have souls, like, so it's kind of confusing. Like,
Right, but if a frog did have a soul, it'd probably go if it was a good one.
I mean, yeah, but we're talking hypotheticals here, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring my friend. His name is Doman Carter. He's my roommate. He he's really going through it. I'm gonna bring him and we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, we're meeting tonight, dude.
Sweet. Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thanks, Shivadri.
Archie, what are you looking at getting out of this?
Um he Archie wants to he knows that necromancy from his father, he learned that necromancy is just the worst of all the like no magic is good, but necromancy is just the worst. So he's trying to go in the opposite direction, in the direction of clerics heal. There are faith healers out there. Perhaps that's a path, and he wants to try to find maybe a fast track to healing through that and really start to focus on that.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
And then
So,
he'll head back to his room as well.
okay. Uh, Dell, you're kind of sitting around, kind of just lazing in the room, waiting around. Finally, the door unlocks and in walks slightly disheveled Archie.
Dale doesn't acknowledge him at first. When he first walks in the door, he's gonna wait for him to get settled first.
Awkwardly enough, Archie just stands in the middle of the room and does nothing a normal person would do.
Nice brazier.
Just kidding.
I certainly intend no puns, but are you familiar with familiars?
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing tonight?
What am I doing tonight?
Cool. Meet me at the church. Yeah, familiars?
The church. I'll think about it. Yes, familiars. Most people get familiars wrong. They assume when they see wizards going around with their pet cat or pet cat or a spider or a hawk or whatever, that it is an animal that they found on the street and befriended. When in actuality, familiars are spirits. Spirits sent from another realm that take the form of these beasts. He's holding up one of his own personal books that he has. He's looking in right now. I heard that your frog is no longer around.
His name was Tobias Johansson. Yes.
Yes. Would you like another frog?
No.
Really?
Yeah. So to no. I appreciate what you're doing. But Tobias was Tobias. If I summon a spirit of a frog, it's just gonna be a frog.
Well, if you decide for it to look like a frog, honestly, frogs are not the best choice. But that if that was your choice, then it would be yours.
No, no, Tobias wasn't. Tobias was special. It wasn't that I had a frog that could understand me. It was that I had a frog that could understand me. You know what I'm saying?
He looks down. He's like, No frog then.
No, but if you want help casting the spell, I could totally do it.
I was thinking perhaps a spider. Or maybe a bat.
Those are both cool.
I haven't decided on what I want for my familiar quite yet. I've been going back and forth. But yes, I still have more materials to gather. But in other case, if you want a spirit that looks like a frog, you can ask. And
Thanks.
we can perhaps make magic happen. Because that was a pun.
Yeah. Oh, Del. So do you know how many people say that per day? Just in this school.
Yes, that's why I got it. It was earlier when I was getting the food. I heard it. And Mina didn't laugh though. But
no.
But she's
remember how people were laughing at it the first day of school?
Yes, they found it quite enjoyable.
Yeah, we're on like day 36.
Yes, but this is the first time I've said it.
All right, I'll give you an A. A for effort.
Thank you. That is what I get. Tonight to the church?
Yeah, I told someone how you were interested in joining their group of religious people. You were talking about it in your sleep.
I've been talking in my sleep. I need a
Yeah.
new journal.
I know most of your secrets.
He goes over, reaches to his bag, pulls out a journal, a newer journal. He's here. When I talk in my sleep, I want you to write down everything.
Okay, Archie will take that and then write down, I want to go to the religious.
he looks at me, he's like, okay, we will go tonight.
Thanks, man.
Yes. He starts to clean up his stuff.
Oh, and whenever I was telling them about that, I referred to you as my friend. I hope I don't embarrass you.
I certainly hope you don't intend to embarrass me.
No, like I hope that wasn't
No, I believe friend is an apt description of our relationship.
apt. That's good.
All right. This episode got dark. It did get really dark.
Dark? What?
It's not dark. I'm seeking closure through non-necromantic means.
This is healing right
This
here.
is good.
Well, we're all being bros, is what I'm getting
Yeah.
out of it.
It's wholesome and it's sad. It's not dark.
I keep forgetting I put the stupid mustache thing on. So like, oh, right.
It's only a problem whenever we want you to, we want to take you seriously, or when you have to do your job as a dungeon master.
Oh, sorry. Here, let me
Here come the
Made it
corners.
worse.
let's see if we're gonna be serious.
Where's the serious button? Yes. Yeah, I suppose a serious dungeon master button would be. I don't think that's one you want to press. Well, professional. That's.
Oh wait, here. This is pretty.
Yeah.
You
there
have
it
my
is.
attention. That's it. You can't ignore a guy like that.
Not at all. Eating frozen grapes.
If there's someone that's looking like that standing behind you, you don't want to take your eyes off them.
There was a recipe I saw and I forgot to send it to you, John. You put grapes in a bowl. You wash off your grapes. You put like lemon juice. You soak them in a little bit of lemon juice, and then you put sugar on that to coat it, and then you freeze it. And so it's like sweet sour grapes. It looked like it'd be good. Just something to try. A little lemon juice, a little sugar.
Maybe, yeah. I usually stick to pretty sweet grapes anyway, like the cotton candy grapes,
I was thinking you could also, like, if you just washed them to get them kind of wet so it stuck, and did a combination of citric, like powdered citric acid and sugar, that'd probably be pretty good too.
Or Peeps sugar.
Peeps.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, the day is moving on. Mina. Well, Dell and Archie, as you guys are talking, there is a knock at the door, and you hear, "Hey, it's Mina." Hey,
Oh, your shift is over. How was work today?
it's fine. Do you have it?
Oh, yes, we do, but I was going to surprise you. Surprise.
It's quite a bit of it's a well-known fact that something happened at the manor today. So watch your back, because they're looking for people.
Oh, I wasn't there. Here's the door.
Doesn't Billy have the sack of dolls?
Nope, I took. You showed it to me, and then I grabbed Sassy Sally before we left.
Let's say he still has a sack of dolls, just not that one doll.
Yeah.
She looks at it, looks it over. Is this really it? Are you sure?
If it's the description that you provided.
She turns it over onto its back, and she looks at there's a hook that you would pull, like woody. Um, and she pulls it and snaps it back, and it says, "Oh, sweetheart, did your spell fizzle out? Maybe you should leave the magic to the professionals." She pulls it again. "Oh, honey, you think you can outwit me? I've seen more cunning kobolds." This is it.
That's very rude. That's a very rude doll.
Oh, that's quite sassy. She
So
pulls it again. "Darling, your dice rolls are as tragic as your fashion sense."
I don't get that one. Dice rolls?
That one's
Like playing games?
I don't
Yeah,
know, but
boy.
my soul hurts for some reason.
Hmm.
So
handle my sass, darling. It's a class feature all on its own.
Okay. It's really losing me now.
Yeah, I don't quite.
Are we all here or
No. It's just Dell and Archie. Says, "Well, you did what we had asked, even
indeed, that's 1 month of free lunch and the item.
But she pulls it out of her bag. It's like a globe that's kind of glowing. She looks at it, looks back at you. "But if you weren't there, then you probably don't deserve this."
I did it and my frog died for it.
Did I not have it in my hand when I handed it to you?
But you said you weren't there.
You told me to get it. I got it and gave it to you. So I will take the globe.
He's just gonna ignore Archie and play.
I feel
Big oof.
like Archie needs this.
Yeah, she definitely sees the pain in Archie's eyes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like he's currently his mascara is running. Here, you take it.
Thank you.
Right amongst yourselves.
I'll see you at work tomorrow, Mina.
Creepy. Anyway, bye.
He closes the door.
So what is this?
It's an enchanted item. The drift globe.
Right.
I will send you a picture of what it looks like.
Does that free lunch extend to everybody or is it just you?
It is for us.
Hmm.
For the team, if you will.
You can command speaker's command word and cause it to emanate light or daylight spell. Oh. So is this for the group? Did you have a specific thing you wanted to do with this, Del?
Oh no, it was just a bonus. Would you like it? I can see in the dark, so there is that.
I can also see in the dark.
Oh, high five.
In the dark.
Dell turns the lights off. Lights back on.
I think Billy cannot see in the dark, so maybe he wants this.
That's a good point.
He's the only one with weak human eyes.
Actually, we have a little bit of time before service tonight. We could go hand it to him.
Yeah.
Andrew,
what? Part of my face disappeared.
you had to feel it to make sure it was there.
Make it go away.
Yeah. Off to find Billy.
Right. I also have no idea where he is. Oh, except that he went to go and find Jera, who probably went to her room.
Oh. Yeah, I'm probably ready to see Jared. That's probably a good idea.
Why? Okay. He goes off.
Billy and Yorick, as you're talking to Jarrett in her room, there is a rap at the door. Yorick, you're kind of
Locking the door.
that door, but
Jared, do you want me to open the door?
I guess. I guess.
I try
Who
with
is it?
my. Oh yeah. Who is it?
Hello. It is Me?
Oh,
Jared,
you
you
can
know
let
any
him in.
me's? Okay. I will do the best I can to open it with my feet, since that's where I'm stuck at in my position.
Dexterity check or acrobatics.
It's slightly better than a straight. Yeah, I can't think of a way to talk my way into athletics there. So here we go. Okay, yeah.
14. You managed to catch the handle with your foot and then just donkey kick the door open.
Cool.
Have-
Let me get out before like
Okay.
crawling backwards to get out.
Hello, Yorick.
Before I get all the way out, like Jared, I'm gonna have to move my hand to let these guys in.
All right, she
And I'm
seems
like
a little
very,
sorry.
very slowly making sure she doesn't like just plop into the
Oh.
floor if I move my hand.
She'll be all right.
And I'll call out. Oh.
I will not ask about that. Billy, and Jetta, yeah, you are all here. Excellent. And I assume everyone is in a fine emotional state. We caught up with Mina.
She says we, and she sees Archie's here too, and she like jumps up and like papers go flying, and she's trying to like gather up all the papers and like stuff them in things. And she's like pushing this ball of papers back and reaching in and pulls one of them out and kind of like puts it behind her back, and then realizes that looks weird and like puts it behind Yorick and realizes that looks weird and just like puts it back. Hi.
Yes, hello. So he was just silent the whole time while you're doing that. Oh, Archie got the thing, and we were thinking maybe Billy should have it. Billy, your eyes are weak, correct?
Ah, yeah, he has those weak human eyes.
I mean,
He's not that old.
yeah, well,
Yes.
you know.
He's not a day over 60.
He's old enough to be your father.
I believe he is
Yeah.
the oldest in this group.
I do
My
have
father's
children
71.
older than.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
pretty sure
I'm not
the
that old.
youngest.
Okay, like I don't have the best eyesight in the world. It's just, y'all get there.
I think it's more of a species thing than
Do halflings have dark vision?
No,
I don't think they do.
no, it's like because I think gnomes do. So I think it's literally halflings and humans that
Oh.
don't.
As soon as Billy, like, if they pull out the drift globe, as soon as Billy see that, he would definitely like be reaching for it because it's glass. Like he doesn't
totally
the light
is. I didn't
aspect
think
he's not
about it.
caring about, but like he sees a thick orb of glass and he's just like, ooh, let me see. And like
Shiny.
he's trying to grab it, like inspect the quality of the glass and the
Mhm.
workmanship or whatever. And just
Billy
Like
likes
he's-
that thick glass.
Dick.
he does.
Like, yes, we thought that would be good for you.
Bro,
Did she tell us what it did? I don't remember.
he did.
Yes, she did.
Okay, so Billy.
And
would
then
know.
I wrote down meh.
Actually,
I just wrote I was gonna win something for Jara again, but I wasn't there. So
Mina also did tell you the word to activate it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is clap on, and to turn it off is clap off.
nice.
you have to say clap on, clap off.
Yes.
There's no actual clapping involved.
No, no clapping at all.
Fair enough.
Jenna, is there a reason why you're fidgeting?
But we have fidgeting. No, I'm always fidgeting. My dad was always telling me I was always fidgeting. Could never stand still. Never.
Oh, I apologize for asking then.
Yeah, it's very rude of you. Fidgeting is a completely normal thing to do.
Is it truly?
Yes. You are just weird.
Really?
No, he's not. You're all. I think you're all pretty great, and
Thanks.
and I appreciate your personalities.
Glad I could help.
Well,
Oh, Archie, did you get my key?
Oh, I apologize. I was distracted by other conversations. Here is a key to his room.
Um,
We hang out there so much, and so if I happen to be in the middle of a workout, I can just let you guys in, or
well, I
feel
usually
free
just
to my bag of holding. It's stocked. Whatever you guys need. And I got the
I
study table, so I don't need to be there, and it's not gonna weird me out. And if you don't want it, that's not gonna hurt my feelings either.
I just turn into a spider anyways. But this will make it a little easier, I guess. So thanks.
York's trying real hard to remember if he's seen spiders recently in his room or
Right.
not.
It is unsettling.
That's a great thought to think of. Is in a
Yeah.
D&D world, are the spiders on your walls spiders or
I mean,
people watching?
literally every spider
I'm
you
just
see.
saying. I'll just say this out loud. You are more than welcome to come in, Archie. But if you're a bug and I accidentally smush you, that is 100% on you, and I will feel guilt free.
That's fine. I usually stay in the corner anyways.
So if they're in the corner, spiders get the other bug. So if you're in the corner, that's fine.
Can you imagine squishing an ant and then just this horrible bone cracking sound happens as the ant under your foot turns into a human? Oh, terrifying.
Yeah, that's exactly what York was picturing, which is why he had to throw that out there. Like, hey on him.
Uh-huh.
I'm clearing my conscience now.
Well, mission accomplished, everyone. I have plans tonight, but I'd say this was quite a successful day. And everyone's yes, quite a
Well-
successful day.
Well, I'm sure you and Dell talked, but I'm not gonna push it anymore. But we're here if you need it, Archie. Sorry for your loss. I don't even look at him at this point because I don't want him to feel obligated to say anything.
Archie is not even looking at you either.
Just-
Hey, Dale, don't we have plans tonight?
we do.
We gotta get ready for that. Put on your
Did I say I needed to wear something special? Am I dreaming?
Wednesday night best.
Wednesday night best. I couldn't be talking about the robe.
The robe. I like to imagine that's capitalized too.
Robe. Yes. I wasn't there for the adventure, but good job on finding Sassy Sally.
Yeah, and if any of those other dolls are worth anything, we should totally sell them or something.
Oh yes, you did get the.
Yeah, I just kind of took all of them just in case.
Okay.
I left
people
the
might-
bag.
Dell and I will let you keep the proceeds.
um.
Oh, hey, I
might
heard
be
Part of it.
we heard that they're
Yeah, they
looking
might be
for us.
investigating.
Yeah, we might have some people on our tail. So
Well, then it was a very good thing that I didn't show up because I kind of bring attention. So I'm
Exactly.
glad I still made the right call because I was starting to feel bad.
I do feel more confident, though a bag full of stolen dollars might be a bit suspicious. So yeah, we should probably decide what to do with them. And by we, I mean you, because I do not care.
You took
Anyway.
all the dolls?
Yeah, I just took the whole shelf full. Figured if one was important, maybe the rest could be.
Oh,
I mean,
that,
that makes
that's
sense.
good thinking. That makes a lot of sense.
Thanks.
I would have done the same. Maybe.
I don't think I would.
If I
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
didn't get distracted.
Hmm.
Archie.
I
Like everybody's here and now everybody's looking at her and she looks even more uncomfortable. She's
Hmm.
holding this piece of paper and she's like, it's not very good. And it can't make it better. But I thought maybe since he was such a fine frog, she's just going to hand it to you and then kind of like hide behind Yorick again.
I like whispers. Should I play like sad viola music or like what I go? Should I have a part in this?
Perhaps something upbeat to lighten the mood.
Bet.
Thanks,
You-
Jared.
you-
I'll read it tonight or look.
Oh, it's not it's in the
Yeah,
chat.
but he hasn't looked at it yet. He's assuming it's some kind of note.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's not words.
That is cute.
I didn't have any good ones.
Well, okay.
I am gonna try to play the viola and upbeat music.
I was hoping you would. I was hoping.
That'll be so awkward.
Yes.
It's funny because Yorik's intention was to make Jared feel less awkward, but the whole thing he's pulling like he has to open up the case and like. Well, let's see. I guess performance, right? Blah, 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 blah.
You really don't have to do that.
Hold on.
nope.
I got
We
one.
changed that song.
I got one for those two. It's gonna be just another one added. I don't know why. Well, that's better. Okay, I'll play averagely. That's a lot better than less than average.
Completely average. Perfect.
Oh, then there is only one song that you are playing on your viola right now. If anybody can guess it before I play it, they will get advantage.
Oh, wait, I had advantage this
Gonna
session.
be
I wrote it
Rick Wall.
down.
What was it?
Rickroll.
Nope.
I mean, if he was classically trained, it would be Summer.
Is it
Yes.
Yakety Sax?
Play the
Nope.
cello, it would be. Is it Wonderwall?
I can't quite hear it, but is this
Can't play
from
Wonderwall on a violin.
And with the sad Wonderwall playing on a viola,
Today's
will
gonna
end
be
our
the day
session.
that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should
we'll
have
just close it
somehow
out with the
realized
Wonderwall
what you
here.
gotta do. I don't